Week 7, Penny Socks.
Today on CJ's Knits, we're going to do the penny sock, which is a toe-up sock. I'm not going to worry about trying to find the perfect yarn, the perfect tension, so on and so forth. I'm going to use the yarn that I have. I'm just going to use the readings that this pattern says. When it comes to you doing one for yourself, you're going to have to do your best to find the perfect setup. I hope that makes sense. This pattern starts at the toe. You're supposed to have a ribber and 50 pennies. I don't know about your country, but we don't have pennies anymore. So I'm just going to use table weights instead. This is one of the many patterns that start at the toe, and you work from the toe where you do the short rows in circular up to the cuff. I do not know how we're going to do the cuff yet. I haven't even read through this pattern. I just decided we're going to work through it together. I am going to move my camera and switch cameras so that you have an actual idea as to what I am doing, when I am doing it, and how I am doing it. Wish me luck on this one. I'm using my new camera. I'm also going to use my old camera for certain shots that I think you guys need to see. So, come on this adventure with me for the penny sock. Okay, we're going to start with a read-through. The suggested yarns are Tam, Roteo, or Perla, Brunswick Nylam. Try to find a yarn with some nylon in it for better wearability. If using cotton yarn, run a strand of polyester or nylon sewing thread with it. I used 224 and 10-2 cotton, and they held up great. For the cuff on cotton, try running a strand of elastic thread with the cotton so the ribbing doesn't stretch out of shape. This is my hint: try woolly nylon in the heel and ribbing for strength and stretching. Makes sense. Tensions. Stockinette, tension 5. Ribbing, tension 3, 0. Slide 1 on the brother ribber for loose ribbing. You need a machine with a ribber and 50 pennies. Starting at the toe. On main bed, cast on 36 stitches using scrap yarn. Knit about 15 rows. Knit 1 row of ravel cord. Knit 1 row with sock yarn at tension 4. Set the machine for partial knitting. Brother machines, put on hold button. Turn the toe. Pull 1 stitch at the beginning of each row on the carriage side into hold until 12 stitches remain in work position at the center, and 12 stitches are in hold on either side of the center stitches. That explains why we have 36. Increase back out by putting 2 stitches opposite the carriage into work position and 1 needle next to the carriage in hold position each row until all the needles are again in work position. This is a different way of short rowing. Ribber into position for transferring stitches. Pick up the 36 stitches from the scrap yarn and ravel cord. Place these stitches on the ribber needles. My info, it looks like a little pouch on the machine row. Ribber up to knitting position. Start tension on the same. Set tension the same on the machine and ribber. Attach connecting arm and set machine for circular knitting. Row count 0, 0, 0. Take pennies and drop them into the toe for weight. They may not fit all at once. Knit a few rows, add the rest. Knit even for 152 rows No, knit even for 152 rows for size 11. For other sizes, knit until 2 inches less than the desired sock length. Drop ribber one step down. Put regular carriage back on main bed. Turn the heel. On the 36 stitches on the main bed, knit exactly as the turn toe. Put ribber carriage back on main bed and ribber back up. Okay, I believe they meant ribber connecting arm. Back on the main. Ribber back up into position for knitting. Ribber is still set for circular knitting. Using transfer tool, put end stitches from the ribber onto main bed and the end stitches from the main bed onto the ribber, thus crossing stitches on each side to prevent holes. Okay, I get what they mean. So we're going to transfer one from the ribber, one from the main, and exchange them. Kind of like doing a cable. Transfer stitches to main bed and bind off around 2 gate pegs. No, I'm missing something here. That prevents holes. Knit even for 40 rows. Drop ribber down. Remove ribber stitches onto stitch holders or scrap yarn. Transfer every other stitch from the main bed to the ribber and knit 1 by 1 rib for 108 rows or desired length of cuff. Tension 8/8. Pull up the rest of the ribber main bed needles with H pitch on ribber. Knit 1 row from left to right. Drop stitches off the extra needles that you just pulled up, the ones not in use during the 1 by 1 rib. Transfer ribber stitches to main bed and bind off around 2 gate pegs. Replace stitches from stitch holder or scrap yarn onto main bed and ribber and set for 1 by 1 rib. Rib same number of rows as you did in step 8. Repeat step 9. Sew side seams of ribbing together. That's it. I tried it. There's no seam to graft on the toes this way. Nice for tender toes. And this was created by Diane Miller from Fibercraft Section 3 Machine Knitting something something. Nowhere on this pattern does it say I cannot share. It does not say that it is copyrighted. All it says is that it's pretty freaking cool. So, we are going to do that now. Okay, so this is where we start. We're at 36 stitches, so that's 18 on either side of 0. We're going to start with the waste yarn, of course. I'm going to do every other needle to start. So I'm going to bring up an extra one. Bring up a shorty. Tension 6. Holding it up. And knitting across. Dropping it, unlocking it, and clipping it. Leaving that on the last one. Bringing forward the stitches. You know what? I'm going to bring them super forward. Now I'm going to knit across again. still no weight. I now need to reduce 1 stitch. All right. Now I'm going to knit the, what did they say here? They said 15 rows. So resetting my row counter. 15 rows. I should put weight on that now. So I'll put 2 claw weights. And here we go. Now, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to leave myself a little loop and knit across 1 extra. Now I'm going to cut it, clip it, and move on. All right, so main bed done. Knit 1 row with sock yarn at tension 4. So tension 4, introducing my sock yarn. Closing the gate. Holding on to the yarn tail. And I am knitting across. One of the things it does not say to do, but I am going to do, is I'm going to weave in this yarn tail right now. So I'm going to bring out a few needles. I'm going to weave the yarn tail. And then hang it down. Now we still need to set it into partial. Yes, I know those are out. Don't worry, we will deal with those in just a minute. Turn toe. Pull 1 stitch at the beginning of each row until 12 stitches remain. Now it does not say that we should be going to tension 5. At what point do we do tension 5? Brother machines, hold. Set machine for partial knitting, brother. Turn toe. Hold until 12 stitches. Yeah. I'm going to leave it at tension 4. So, on the carrot side, we're going to knit across. Yes, these are in hold. Don't worry, we will deal with those. Okay, we're going to manually stitch these. And now this one comes into hold. All right. Anything special? Pull beginning until 12. Okay, so this one's now in hold.
Okay, we're getting that little pouch. Introducing the super weight. Okay, that one's in hold. Time to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so this should have 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I meant 16. Okay. So that's 15, 14, 13, and 12. Now we need to work our way back. So this is where we have some fun. Increase back out by putting 2 stitches opposite the carriage into working position, and 1 needle next to the carriage into hold position. Okay. 2 back, 1 forward. 2 back, 1 forward. 2 back, 1 forward. 2 back, 1 forward. One sec, I'm going to move my weight here. I'm going to have to do it from behind. All right. 2 back, 1 forward. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I think I may have put 1 back by accident. 2 back, 1 forward. 2 back, 1 forward. 2 back, 1 forward. Yeah, I definitely screwed that up. That's okay. And we'll just let these guys go into back. And that one goes back. I'm sure I'm okay. Okay, so now we need to do the lifting thing. So I'm going to move my claw weight up a little bit, because we're still going to do the filling thing. And I'm going to take the weights off of the waste yarn here. Going to use my double eye. Well, that was noisy, wasn't it? Move my yarn. Sinker plate. Take it out of hold. Want to make sure that I am not knitting on the main bed going to the right and not knitting going to the left on the ribber. I believe this is what they meant by stocking stitch. So now we'll go tension 5, loading my yarn into my ribber sinker plate, which release the clips on the yarn, which will stop the yarn from being friendly. Now we're going to lift. Okay. This is kind of hard. Going to be honest. Am I in 0, 0? All right. So this should be 18. So 15, 16, 17, 18. So this one, 15, 16, 17, 18. Goes on to this one. Whoop, too far. Now my yarn tail is going to be interfering. So I'm pulling it forward. I'm going to put it in my double eye. And I'm going to thread it through this little hole here. This way I don't have to deal with it later. All right. I'm just going to keep working at this to each side to get the loops from my waste yarn. Wow. The loops next to my waste yarn onto the riverbed again. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and then we'll come back. All right, on to part 2.